Hello, my wonderful people. Okay, so today's my birthday, October 1st. Today I'm turning 20 years old, and for this video I actually want to do something a little different for my channel, and I wanted to do 20 things that I learned by 20. Also I changed my hair, so it's like silvery gray. I don't know, I really like it. Oh yeah, I still don't have a ring light because I just haven't bought one because I'm a broke college kid. So I will get one eventually. I promise you I will have a ring light again eventually. Until then, we will be using this window. And natural light's better anyways. Let's get started. Number 1 for the 20 things that I learned by 20. Nobody knows what they're doing. So when I was a kid, every time I looked up to people or even just had conversations with people who were older than me, it seemed like they just had their shit together. Like, they knew what they were doing, they knew what they wanted, they knew how they wanted to get there. Like, it just seemed like everybody knew exactly what they were doing. And then as I grew up, I was like, holy fuck, I don't know anything about what I want to do. And I didn't have a plan, or I had a plan and the plan wouldn't go right, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so lost, I'm wrong, whatever. And I thought that nobody else felt lost, and I was like, I'm not supposed to feel like this, I'm not supposed to be lost, I'm supposed to know exactly what I want to do. And that was a feeling I had very prevalently late high school, early college. I knew what I wanted to study and stuff, but I was like, I don't know how to get there, I don't know how to whatever. Yeah, and then as I grew up, I was like, oh, nobody knows what they're doing. Number 2. It is okay to say no. Whether that is to plans, whether that is to doing, what's another example? Whether that is to going out, whether that is to staying in, whether that is to a certain person, whether that, you are allowed to say no. If you don't want to do something, don't do it. I don't care if this person's begging you to go out. If you don't want to go out there and talk to people, then don't go out there and talk to people. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say no for your mental health. It's okay to say no if you have an excuse. It's also okay to say no if you don't have an excuse. Saying no is a good enough reason. I don't care if it's your best friend. I don't care if it's your mom. I don't care if it's your dad. I don't care if it's a roommate. So yes, it is okay to say no. Do not live to please other people. You will live a miserable life. Number 3. Do not keep people around who threaten your peace. I am still struggling with this. It's so hard to sometimes set really healthy boundaries in friendships, relationships, family ships. But if somebody is threatening your peace, threatening your happiness, bye. I'm not talking about if you had a little argument with your sister and you're supposed to cut them off. But if it's someone who is constantly doing something that makes you upset, that makes you feel less of yourself, that makes you feel bad, maybe you don't want them in your life. If it's someone who is constantly affecting your mood and constantly affecting how you live your life, maybe they're not meant to be in your life. And that's okay. Some people are only supposed to be in your life for a small amount of time. Some people are only supposed to have memories in your life. Some people are only supposed to be a sentence in your book. Some people are supposed to be a chapter. Not everybody is supposed to be or going to be the entire book. So just remember that. And like I said, don't cut someone off because they forgot to pick up your mail or something But if it is someone who is constantly making you feel bad about yourself, making you feel bad about how you live or what you're doing, you don't need them. Number 4. Keep cash in your car. I'm not talking about $500 in cash. I'm talking about 20 bucks. This can go a long way. If you live somewhere where there's tolls, you'll always have toll money. If you're getting home and you forgot your wallet somewhere and you need gas, if you break down or you run out of gas on the side of the road and you don't have your wallet, you are literally fucked. Or if it's somebody's birthday, oh my god, I forgot to give them a gift and I don't have time to get one. Just put that 20 bucks right in the envelope, give it to them. Boom. Done. So keeping a little bit of cash in your car can go a long way. Number 5. Enjoy today because you will never get it back. There's a thought that comes in my head quite often, and it is, wow, I am in this exact moment at this exact time, and I will never be in this exact moment, in this exact place, at this exact time ever again. And that freaks me out. And it's a really deep thought that I have quite often. But it's just a reminder to me to live my life, do what I want. Because I will never get these 24 hours back that I'm living right now. You can always say, oh, there's always tomorrow, but you never know. There might not be a tomorrow. You can't know. There are accidents and terrible events and tragedies that happen every single day. Just live as if today's your last. I know that that's so cliche to say, but it's so true. Life is so short. Just enjoy the time that you're here. Number 6. Not everybody is gonna like you. I know, it's some real tough love I'm giving you now. It's true, not everybody is gonna like you. You will have plenty of people who will walk down the street and judge you. You will have coworkers who don't like you. You'll have friends who don't like you. You'll have teachers, professors, bosses. Like, you will have people who don't like you. That should never stop you from being who you are. I'm not saying be a dick, but what I am saying is you could be the nicest person in the entire room, and there might still be one person who had a bad day and doesn't like you because of something that they're going through. So you need to remember that most of the time people's judgments about you are not actually about you, but about themselves. Not saying all the time, like I said, don't be a dick, but don't take it so personally if it's like someone walking down the road, or, you know, if they don't know you, then they don't really have the right not to like you just because of like your appearance. This is really hard to remember though when it's someone who used to like you, or say an ex-friend or an ex-significant other, and now all of a sudden they hate you. Like, that can be kind of tough. That's a tough pill to swallow sometimes, but it happens. I mean, people change, and it's okay for people not to like you. If you never get in arguments, or if you never have deep discussions, and you never like push conversations with other people, if you never have controversial views, then are you really living? I'm never going to agree with everybody, but that doesn't mean I'm going to change my views depending on who I'm talking to. I'm still going to stay true to myself. So what I'm saying is, like, don't change who you are depending on who you're talking to just so that they like you. It's not worth it. That kind of goes back to, don't keep people in your life who threaten your peace. If it's someone that you have to change who you are to get their acceptance, it's just not worth your time. Number 7, you will make the money back, but you will never make the time back. I'm not saying spend all your money in one place or drop it all on a nice car. What I'm saying is spend your money on experiences, especially while you're young. Last October, I went to Seattle by myself for a week, and was it a little bit of a lot of money? Yeah, it was. But it was literally some of the best memories that I have in the last couple years. Having stories to tell is such a powerful thing. And if you stay in one place your whole life, you're never going to have these stories to tell. And I learned so much by going out and traveling. You learn so much about different people and cultures, and you gain so much knowledge that you wouldn't get just staying in one place your entire life with the same people, the same cultures, the same language. Like, get outside the box. Those memories that I made last year when I spent a little bit of money, that, like, I've made that money back. I worked a couple extra shifts. I, did the little things to make that money back, but I know that I will never be able to be 18 in Seattle again. Like, especially when you're young, spend the money that you do have on experiences instead of things. Things come and go, but those memories, those stories, those adventures, like, those will always be up here. No matter what happens in life, you will always have those memories. You will always have those stories. And so it's important to make them. And if you never go out of your way to make them, then you won't have those stories. And those are some of my favorite memories of my teenage years. So, next one, everybody needs therapy. I'm gonna say it. You can literally never go wrong with therapy. Therapy is another unbiased human being who you can literally just shit talk to. And not even that, but like, people don't understand this. Like, you do not need to be suicidal standing on the edge of a bridge to go to therapy. You can be mentally healthy, you can be your best self and still go to therapy. Everybody needs to talk to somebody. Like, they do. Bonus when that somebody happens to have a degree in psychology and understands how your brain works. It's so important for your own growth, and especially if you endured trauma or you went through something really hard, or like you just need someone to talk to. A therapist is there to not only listen to you, but to help you heal, to help you learn, to help you grow. You never want to be the same person that you were when you were 15. Therapy is just such a good thing. And there's There's a funny quote that I read, and it was, everybody who's in therapy is in therapy because of people who didn't go to therapy. Like I said, you don't have to be diagnosed with some crazy mental illness in order to go to therapy. You can be super happy with your life and still go to therapy just because you want to grow. You can always get better. You're never perfect. You can always get better. There's always room to grow, and a therapist is just there to help you do that and help you understand why you think the way you think and why you act the way you act and that kind of stuff. And so everybody needs therapy, and if you have a chance to go to therapy, go, even if it's just for a couple weeks. Like, you'll learn a lot about yourself that you didn't even realize that you had. So, go to therapy. And then we have don't force love or even friendships. This was something that I really had to take some time to learn. In high school, I would really force my friendships especially. And I would want to be friends with somebody so bad, or we would have history, and I would be like, well, since we have been friends for so many years, we need to stay friends. And that just doesn't equate. Because as I've said throughout this whole video, as you get older, you are growing, you are changing, you are learning about yourself, you're learning about the world, and you're learning what you like, you're learning what you don't like, and all these kinds of things, they affect who you are as a person. And sometimes you outgrow people, and that's okay. You are supposed to change. You're not supposed to be the same person your entire life. That would be so boring. You can't force friendship, and you especially can't force love. In your head, when you love somebody so much, you're like, oh, well, they must love me back because I feel this way about them, and sometimes they don't. And that is a really big bummer when they don't. So just don't force it. If you're meant to be in a relationship, if you're meant to have a relationship, friendship, whatever it is, you will have it. That chemistry, those vibes, like, they don't just go away, but they do change. So if you feel like you have to force something with someone, chances are it's not meant to happen, at least not at that time. You never know, like, people come in and out of your life, and if something doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And don't just give up on love, don't just give up on friendship. There are so many people in this world. The world is so big. You're gonna find somebody else who you have just a strong or even stronger connection with. So don't force it with someone that you don't have that with. To go along with the experiences versus money, stay organized with your money. I was very privileged to be taught this. Staying organized with your money can make a world of a difference. Whether it's investing, or it's starting a credit card, or it's putting it in a 401k or a Roth. It's like, finding ways to organize your money is super important, especially when you're young, because you don't have a lot of money. And if you do have a lot of money, then just skip this part of the video. But especially when you're young, finally building like your financial foundation, it's so important to stay organized. Make a budget. Stick to the budget. Don't go spending all your money in one place, as your grandma, I'm sure, has told you. Just stay organized with it. Understand money. Understand what loans are, what's subsidized, unsubsidized. Understand your credit card. Understand Roths. Understand 401ks. Like, take the time to learn what those things mean and what they can do, because those things change people's lives. Whether it's in a really good way or it's a really bad way, you want to understand where your money's going. This one's really important to me, and I just really realized this in the past year. If you hurt somebody, whether it was your intention or not, you owe them an apology. But think about it. If it's a stranger, someone walks past and you accidentally trip them, oh my God, I'm so sorry. You didn't mean to, but you apologize because you did an action that hurt or affected somebody else. Or I'm a barista. Say I gave somebody a hot cup of water and like I spilled a little bit on their hand. I'm automatically gonna be like, oh, I'm so sorry about that, because I never meant to spill that hot water. You never meant to trip that stranger, but you did. And it doesn't matter how it happened, doesn't matter why it happened, you did. And that negatively affected them. Therefore, automatically, you owe that person an apology. It is not hard to say you're sorry. To go into this a little bit deeper when it comes to relationships, friendships, with your family, this is really important and something that I really try to stick by, because it doesn't matter, like, say my brother wants to go get food and I'm like, no, I don't want to get food with you, loser. Or like something silly like that, where like I didn't even think about it, I was just like messing around. But say he was having a really bad day and like that hurt his feelings. I obviously would never mean to like hurt my brother's feelings, but it did. So I would owe him an apology. And it's not hard for me to be like, hey, I'm so sorry. And on the flip side of this, if someone does hurt your feelings or someone hurts you, it is your responsibility to let them know that they did. Because if someone doesn't know that they hurt you, then they can't do anything about it. It's your responsibility to let them know your feelings because they can't read your mind. Like I said, maybe you were having a bad day and it really affected you in a way that you didn't think it would. But if you do tell someone that they hurt your feelings and they're like, I'm sorry you feel that way, I'm like, that's a backhanded apology and that doesn't mean shit. It doesn't matter the situation. It doesn't matter if you said something or you did something and it affected somebody and it hurt somebody. It does not matter your intention. I don't care if you meant to hurt them or not. Like, that's just how it should be. If you hurt another human being, whether it was an accident or on purpose, you owe them an apology. Just fucking say sorry. It's not that hard. People need to go to therapy for not saying sorry. People who go to therapy know to say they're sorry. Anyways, coming in at number 12, there is no timeline in life. There's not. There's people who become millionaires at the age of 60, and there's also people who become millionaires at the age of 15. Like, you're never early, on time, or late in life when it comes to literally anything. When it comes to your relationship, when it comes to falling in love, when it comes to school, when it comes to success, career, anything. There's no timeline. Things happen when they're supposed to happen for you. You should never give up on something that you really want in your life just because you're getting older or just because time is passing, because you never know what's going to happen. And if you keep working towards something, there's a higher chance that you're going to get it. Never feel bad for being older and still chasing your dreams. I think that that's incredibly courageous. So just, it's your life. Number 13, take lots of photos and print them out. Print them out. Please hold. I literally have, like, this is just from college. These photos, okay, that's awkward. That was empty. This entire photo album is just of college stuff. Like, this is the one of my girlfriend and I. And then I also have, this is an entire thing full of photos of, like, the past year. I have, like, all my disposable photos. Also, get a disposable camera. You will, especially in college, like, come on. Disposal of my dog. Like, you can't go wrong with disposables. Me and my girlfriend? Come on. Get a disposable. It's just so worth it because now I make scrapbooks. Like, you can't see it, but I have a scrapbook in there and I love it, and I have photo albums that I go back and look at our photos, and it's so fun to look through years later. And it's just so worth it because, yes, you have all your photos on your phone and that's great. You can post them and do whatever. You have so many pointless photos on your phone, and I know you do. I know you have stupid screenshots and memes all up in your photo album. And so sometimes the good photos get lost. And so if you print out the good ones, and even if it's just like here and there, you just print a couple out, it's so worth it because then you have them somewhere and you can physically see them. It's so worth it. Just take lots of photos. You never know when you're going to capture something that you might cherish for the rest of your life. So take lots of photos. Next, we have be the driver's seat of your life. I think this one's really important. It's so easy a lot of times to just kind of go with the flow of life and just to do what everyone else tells you. And a really good example of this is going to college. College is not meant for everybody. Don't want to go to college if you want to do trade school, if you want to do your own business, if you want to like do something else besides what society tells you to do, then do it. It's your life, and you never want to have your life driven by everybody else. And then at the end, you're just like, wow, I literally never lived for myself. I never did what I wanted. I never made my own decisions. That's just one of the things that I've learned while being young, is that I'm in control of my life and I can do whatever I want. It's my life. Like, I'm going to make mistakes and I'm going to learn from them. It's just so important to make sure that you are the reason that you're doing something, because at the end of the day, you're the only person that you have. Number 15. People will surprise you. This could be in a very good way or a very bad way. People have surprised me both ways. People will surprise you all the time, whether it's like based off their appearance or if it's based off a hobby of theirs. You'll learn so often in life, stereotypes that you're taught from a young age are so wrong. Some of them, yeah, very accurate, but some of them are just so wrong. And that's why you never want to judge somebody based off a stereotype or based off something you've seen someone else do that's like them or something like that. So give them a chance to surprise you. You just never know who people truly are until you get them in certain situations. And like I said, it can be bad too. Like, you know, some of the most judgmental people that I've ever met have also been some of the nicest to my face. You really never see someone's true colors until they're forced to come out. Whether that's because you knew them for a long time or because the situation brought them out. People's true colors can definitely be surprising. So, number 16, fall in love with yourself and fall in love with life. This is very cliche, and even I don't listen to this a lot of the time. Like, I will be the first to say life sucks sometimes. Sometimes it literally feels like life is beating my fucking ass. And sometimes all I want to do is just cry into a little ball. And it's so frustrating because I go back and forth with this. A lot of the time, what you give out is what you get back. So if I'm constantly being like, I hate life, I hate this, I hate that, I'm so, like, just being really negative, a lot of the times things are going to seem more negative to you. I think that there's something in psychology where, like, that's, like, an actual thing where you believe everything's bad and so everything literally looks bad from your lens or from your perspective. I don't know what it's called. You get what you give. And so sometimes just, even if it's, because I've had really bad days and I'm just like, you know what? I'm not going to let this affect me as much as I really want it to. I'm going to get out of bed and do something small. I'm going to make a cup of coffee. I'm going to clean up my desk. I'm going to make my bed. Little things like that. They can dramatically change the outcome of your day, which just shows that sometimes you just got to put that little extra effort in for a bad day just for it to turn around, because it's crazy. I mean, look at, in a relationship standpoint, when you fall in love with somebody, it looks like they have no problems and that they are perfect human beings. And so you might not ever see yourself that way or life that way, but you do tend to see things that you're in love with in a little bit of a prettier light. So if you just devote a little bit of your time to trying to enjoy the little things in life, even when shit's hitting the fan, you get a little out of it. Number 17, if you miss somebody, reach out. I was actually just talking to one of my really good friends about this. I have a handful of, like, really good friends, and most of those friends I don't talk to on a regular basis. It doesn't mean I don't care about them, but life gets busy, and sometimes you just don't have the time to talk to somebody every single day. But what I mean by this is, like, if you see something that reminds you of somebody, shoot them a text. Hey, I'm thinking about you today. Hope you're well. It's that simple for somebody else to be like, wow, like, they care about me. They saw something that reminded them of me. That's so sweet. It's such a small little short text that can truly show your intentions of somebody, because maybe they're sitting on the other side being like, they hate me, like, they haven't talked to me in so long, this is like, we're falling out, whatever, and then you send them this text and they're like, oh wow, like, they still think about me and they still care about me. And it's just important to let the people that you love in your life know that you love them, because life's short, you know, you never know when you won't have it tomorrow. Number 18, if you really want something, don't give up on it. Like I've said in my previous videos, I've gotten rejected from this school that I go to twice now. And you know what? People were like, you're never gonna get in. I was not like a very academic kid in high school. I had a good GPA. I was just like average. I was just average Joe going through high school. And I did really bad in my SAT, and people were like, you're not gonna get into Michigan, because like 5 people got in from my grade. I know I wanted to study film, and so right from that I was like, I'm gonna get into the school. Like, I will get into this school. And got rejected, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it one more time, and if I don't get in, then I will find another way to be successful in my career, but I really want to go to this school. And so I kind of put my pride aside, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to apply one last time. And here I am, in Ann Arbor. So don't give up on yourself. That's really what I'm saying. Like, if you really want something, then go for it. As I said earlier in this video, people become successful at 60, 70 years old. You never know when your time could come, and you don't want to give up on something right before it gets good. Number 19, love is not a feeling, it is a choice. So I actually had a friend of mine in high school tell me this after she had been in a relationship for quite some time. She was like, it's not a feeling, it's a choice. Right when you meet somebody, you have those endorphins and the oxytocin all come out, and you like see them in this like beautiful light, but that is temporary. They call it the honeymoon phase for a reason. It is a phase. And so it's really important just to remember that. And a lot of times, like, people come out of the honeymoon phase and they break up because they like see the imperfections of their partner and they're like, wait a second, I don't know you anymore, I don't like you anymore, like I don't feel that same way about you anymore. When you are with somebody for a long time, you, after that honeymoon phase, you every single day make a choice to love that person. You make a choice to spend time with that person. You make a choice to care about that person. And that is something that not a lot of people realize at a young age, because people haven't been in a long enough relationship to feel it and understand it, or they don't portray that stuff in TV shows and movies. It's just the honeymoon phase until they die in the end. It's a choice, and if you really love somebody, then that choice is very easy. And if that choice isn't easy, then it might be a sign. That's something that I have learned recently, is that love is very much so a choice rather than a feeling. And finally, number 20, you are only young once. I've said this quite a few times in the video, but you're only young once. Have fun, take risks, be stupid. Don't be too stupid, but do stuff, like enjoy when you're young. The weirdest thing is I keep thinking, I'm like, wow, I'm not gonna be a teenager like on my birthday, or once I turned 20. Like, I kept thinking I'm not gonna be a teenager. In my head, I just kept being like, time is moving and I can't do anything to stop it. It's just gonna keep moving and I'm just gonna keep getting older. And that's really weird for me to think about, but it's true, and it makes me want to just enjoy life while I can and be young while I can. Do what you want to do. Spend your young years how you want to spend them. Travel, get experience, do stuff outside the box, do stuff outside your comfort zone, push yourself, grow, learn, because you're only young once. So yeah, sorry, that was a really long video. I did not intend for that to be that long. I didn't realize how long 20 things would actually take me to talk about. If you made it this far, you're my favorite human beings in the world. Yeah, thank you for all my new subscribers. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next week. So